Guys, it's me, Tsalagi. Um, Having a little bit of a hard day, but I wanted to give you an update. This canyon fire just exploded up to 4,856.3 acres. It's over by Lake Piru, however you say that. I think it's near Castaic. That's what I heard on the news. So if you remember a few months ago, back in like January, there was the Hughes fire that surrounded almost completely Lake Castaic. And then before that was in 2020, there was a big fire at Lake Castaic. So I believe there are some major evacuations in this area. Let's see, I'm trying to get it to come up here. It's 25% containment as of 2 hours ago. There is evacuation order level 3 go around Lake Piru, which is there's probably some homes around there that right up against the lake, and this is threatening another lake, just like it threatened the Lake Castaic back in January. So, I mean, they can use the lake to put out the fire, but it doesn't always go as planned with the wind and stuff. So it seemed like they were pretty concerned about this fire on the news. Some of the fires they're not even talking about, but for some reason they're mentioning this one. And so there must be some areas that have some dense population in order for them to really have a concern. There's evacuation warnings surrounding it, but this area right here, they want people to move out of. Oh, excuse me, I have to sneeze. So, I don't know if we can see this one. Let me see if we can go ahead and see it. So it seems like all we can see is the smoke, and it's not billowing, so it's probably kind of just sitting out there. Yeah, there's hardly no cameras in this area at all, which is very, I mean, we kind of need to see it. Let's see. No, this thing keeps, okay. So there's all the smoke. We're just covered in a big cloud of smoke over here in California, guys. And that's all we can see. Can't see no fire, but we can see the smoke. Let's see what else. I think I just looked at that one. Yeah, it's just too smoky around here. Just a big thick cloud. And it's pretty depressing. I mean, where I'm at, you can see the blue skies and everything, but it's more like that whitewashed blue, which you know is full of smoke. There's not really any real good fresh air. And there are some other little fires, like the Real Fire, 7.4 acres. The Day Fire, Amelia Fire. Those are all just little fires, probably just domestic type fires, you know, like regular fires. Now, I think there is some arson going on. I'm not gonna lie, like, I really feel like that's part of the problem. Is just people they're not caring anymore, and perhaps getting paid. Who knows? Maybe they are getting paid to go around and terrorize us. Domestic terrorism. I don't put that past anyone anymore, because Look at what happened in LA over the summer. Look at what happened. All these riots and arson fires that were started in LA. So for us to think that that's not a possibility with all of these fires in California, people say, "Oh, you're overreacting." Okay, sure. I'm overreacting. All right. I mean, it's to the point where I feel like I should just give up. Because what's the point? A lot of people don't even care. Like, nobody's watching these videos. Some people do, but honestly, I'm overwhelmed with it too. And it's like, should we care anymore? Or should we just let it go? Like, accept the things that we cannot change, right? Is that where we're at? I just have to accept that this is our life now, right? Wherever you are, there's stuff going on that people might tell you you're overreacting if you talk about it. And I feel like that's wrong, because look at all these fires. Look at them. And they're going to try to call it global warming.
It is Friday, August 8th, and fire erupting again in LA. The Canyon Fire popping up yesterday afternoon, already swallowing almost 5,000 acres. Karen Bass caught completely unprepared. By the time this lady leaves office, her entire city could be gone. Also, New York AG Letitia James under criminal investigation. A grand jury subpoenaing her records. The woman who campaigned on sending the president to prison, now very likely going to prison herself. Wait till you see who Pam Bondi just appointed as the special prosecutor investigating both Adam Schiff and Letitia James. Not someone you want investigating you, and more stories as well from around the country. So it is happening again, nearly 6 months after the horrifying, deadly LA fires, the Pacific Palisades fire, that left thousands homeless, an outcome that's largely been blamed on Mayor Karen Bass. That's who the city largely blames. Another wildfire now flaring up, this time in Ventura County. The fire dubbed the Canyon Fire, starting 12 hours ago, and by this morning it's exploded in size from just 30 acres last night to almost 5,000. The mayor caught completely off guard. CAL FIRE reporting at present it's 0% contained, 0% containment, and this coming just 6 months after the Palisades disaster that displaced thousands of residents, leaving thousands homeless. The majority of Los Angeles blames Mayor Karen Bass for the extent of the damage. Her incompetence, yet facing growing cries to resign as mayor, somehow she survived a petition demanding her recall, received over 200,000 verified signatures in the last few months, but ended up coming up short to force her recall, surviving largely by throwing her fire chief under the bus, firing Kristen Crowley. Well, Crowley may be gone, but Karen Bass isn't. She's still mayor. Gavin Newsom's still governor. What have these two been doing the past 6 months? Well, Gavin Newsom's a podcaster now, and Karen Bass is allegedly cutting red tape to help you rebuild your home faster.
Expediting, so I signed executive directives right away so that we could cut the red tape, we could get people back building as fast as possible, and we're going to continue doing that.
One thing is they're saying they will not be allowed to start for 18 months.
No, that will not be the case. That will not. You can hold me to it.
More groups said that.
No.
That would be a. They should be able to do it. They should be able to start tonight.
That
sounds
great.
Yeah,
out of the 1,200 residents who submitted applications to rebuild in Pacific Palisades, yes, you need to ask permission to rebuild your house there. Guess how many permits Karen Bass has issued? Only 116 out of the 1,200 residents who asked permission to rebuild. Only 116 were granted permission. That doesn't sound like cutting red tape. As of today, over 90% of the homeowners or property owners are still waiting on Karen Bass to allow them to break ground. They're homeless right now. So why? Why would they make these property owners wait so long to rebuild? Honest question. Well, get this. 2 weeks ago, the California Senate passed a bill to let the city of LA buy fire-destroyed lots for low-income housing, Senate Bill 549. So you're waiting and waiting to rebuild. Eventually, maybe it's just easier to sell your lot back to the city. Yes, that's what's happening. The Democrat Senate passing a bill to make it legal for LA County and other municipalities to use property taxes, to use your money, the money that you're paying for your property tax. They want to use that to fund resilient rebuilding authorities. That's the language in the bill. The bill requires at least 40% of their funding be used for building low-income housing. You can't make this crap up.
Hi guys. Sorry about that audio bloop. It doesn't really record very well when I'm trying to do it that way, but for the remainder of this video, I just wanted to go over this is an auto dub, obviously, so we got another fire right here, the Mesa fire along the coast. It's between LA and San Diego. Just thought it was interesting because it's sort of like on the other side of the Air Force Base, Camp Pendleton, which they had a fire yesterday called the Whiskey Fire, and that was I think it's put out, but it's kind of hard right now. I'm wondering if there's a lot of misinformation going on because like when you look at this map and it shows you the fires and stuff, it doesn't always show up on the cameras. And then you go to the news and maybe it's just time, you know, like they get the information too late. But here's the biggest fire in California right now, 104,000, I believe. This is the Gifford fire, and it just looks like a doomsday scape. It's very concerning, and I just want to apologize for earlier. I know a lot of my viewers were kind of wondering what was going on. I'm just dealing with something right now. The world is so crazy, and I feel like, where is the refuge? You know, I know we have our refuge in Jesus, but while we're just here on this earth, it's hard. And I think Jesus knew that better than anyone, that there's things that we have zero control over, and I guess that's where he comes in. You know, we gotta lean on his understanding and not our own. And there's always a reason for the things that we go through, and I do know that, and I really appreciate those of you that are encouraging towards me and kind of giving grace because I think at times we all need some kind of grace, not just from Jesus, but our fellow humans too. I mean, not that Jesus isn't human, but you know what I mean. Like, it's hard to get through this life without each other, and Jesus knew that as well. So as we're looking at these horrible pictures of the fire going on, the Gifford fire, and it's still continuing, and it's just very discouraging as each day goes by, seeing that it's not really letting up. I am grateful that we can view it, because there is that other fire down near LA that isn't viewable. You cannot see it, which I really believe that LA needs to step up their game and put up some more cameras in these wilderness areas. The Palisades fire was caught on camera Like, I don't know if you guys realize that, but there is a video out there of some people with their shenanigans right at the very start of the Palisades fire. And I know that's a crazy major claim, but I did share it here on this channel. If you guys want to go back about, 6 months ago, there is a video that was up on, I think it was on a TikTok or something, and the kids, I don't know if they were kids or what, but they seemed young, maybe in their 20s or something. Well, this wraps up my video, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.